We always wondered if our remedies change the perception. And we always wanted that if you give the remedy, the perception should change. And in many cases, we have seen that after giving the remedies, the patient's way to look at life changed. But after some time, this same patient catches another delusion and goes back to the same state. This has been verified in my last 30 years of practice n number of times. So I was actually looking for a drastic transformation where the remedy not only cures but also changes the way he look at things and it stays for a longer time. And this happened to me by understanding the sensation method also and the understanding of the cycle of life. I was treating a case of a young lady, maybe 35, 40s. She was in depression with panic attacks. The story went so like that she was already married, having a kid of maybe 15, 16 years old, and she was in love with her childhood love, the one whom she loved during her younger days. Some way there was some discord in the marriage and she goes back to her childhood love. This person whom she was in love was the one who was not treating her the way she should have been, the way she wanted him to love, but since it was her love, she went on and on. At one point, this man, the second man in her life, started treating her very rudely to the extent that she got hurt and then she breaks the relationship. And after the relationship breaks, she goes into a kind of depression. And the depression was that typical depression of a woman woman or a man who's been hurt by the person whom you trust the most, the typical natramure depression. I treated her with the same remedy natramure which I was doing for so many cases beyond before. Patient recovered. Now after the recovery, the whole thing is symptomatically the patient is better, but the actual transformation that we are waiting for doesn't. They may feel that the dreams are better, the relationships are better, the sleep is better, but the transformation doesn't happen. This is what I have seen in many cases. You increase the potency, you change a lot of things, but for a transformation to occur, you need to make the person walk ahead in life. She was an artist. And at the end of the consultation, I told her, why don't you declare the date of your exhibition? She had a very atypical nervous smile and she said, I can't even hold my brush now and you're asking me to have a painting and that too on a commercial basis. I said, you should do it. So she completely disagreed, walked out of the consultation room. Again, she used to come and again I used to ask her, when are you keeping the exhibition? She said, doctor, I am just better, but I can't even think of painting. So it went on to the extent that she started getting irritated with me. Now she goes and takes medicine from my associate, telling her that give me the same remedy which he gives. It works, but he always tells me to declare an exhibition, so I don't want to go and meet him. This went on for a period of a year. At the end of the year, she writes a mail to me saying that on this day, I have an exhibition and you should come for that and I want you to be the guest of honor. I had a smile. I went there. When I went there, I could see the whole gallery was lit up with beautiful paintings. Something which I never thought that a patient in depression and panic disorder would ever paint. Her highest painting went for some 50,000 Indian rupees and that was the first after many years. And she earned a lot. But what I could see from that day till now is a change which stayed, because it is not only the remedy that made her different. It is the row which she belonged, the row of creativity which I made her forcibly go into, because she belonged there. It is not the remedy treats the symptoms, the remedy treats the totality, but the transformation has to occur, and that transformation will occur only if you can identify the basic delusion and then take them away from it by making them aware of what they actually are. Your remedy won't change that. It is you which will catalyze this process to make that difference. And this has been the way I practice in many cases. After the case is over, there is something that we tell the patient which makes this drastic change. It has been more therapeutic, more long lasting. And that is how we transform people for longevity and for their betterment. So try using these ideas of making the patient go to their desired delusional state by not telling them, but making them aware of their delusion.